how does the waste management in Ayala Center and your construction go?
Which you want to know first, Ayala Center or the construction?
Ayala Center.
Ayala Center is around 34 hectares. It has several locators or tenants within the center. Now, basically the locators and tenants are classified as two. One is the food and the other is non-food. For the non-food, these are the department stores, anything that sells that is not food. Their waste is dry waste and not so much. The big waste contributor in Ayala Center are the food tenants. And what basically happens is that the food tenants, after mall hours, segregates their waste within the tenant space. Then, sometime before midnight, it is hauled all the way up to the EDSA car park. It is the car park behind Intercon, adjacent to EDSA. Now, it is hauled there and placed in a material recovery facility. Every day, during the wee hours of the morning, we have haulers that picks up the segregated waste. So you have tin, you have plastic, you have styrofoam, you have paper. One thing interesting is that the food waste or the scrap is stored in an air-conditioned area. This will prevent the waste from smelling. So they keep it in some sort of like a refrigerated area. So it's done every day, 365 days a year. The biggest waste is during Christmas and holidays.
So for the food, this includes the concessionaires, not necessarily just the restaurants, right?
Yes, but we do have concessionaires that are not food related.
Like, you already have those stalls in Varieta. Those
Yes,
count.
even the kiosk, they're obligated to segregate their waste and bring it to EDSA car park.
So how about your construction area? Since that's a completely different kind of management naman.
For the construction area, we do also recycling. So what are the forms of waste that we produce? A sample would be when we dig, when we excavate and haul out the soil. This is actually brought in another location and used as landfill. Another thing that you can use as landfill are anything that's made of concrete.
Like gravel.
Well, gravel is a component of concrete. When we demolish something, the concrete, which is basically a composition of cement, sand, gravel, and water, we can also, we crush them together and we can also use this as landfill.
So in the landfill, do you use it in the same area or do you give
Different
it up?
areas.
Why don't you just leave it in the same area?
If there is an area that can accommodate all of our excavated soil, we can do that. But most of the time, because of the large volume of excavation, there's not one single area that can accommodate the filling material. Another recyclable material that we use in construction is steel. The scrap steel is actually bought by junk shops and they buy it per kilo and they sell it to steel mills again, which is melted into reinforcing steel again. So that's also being recycled. Another is wood. It's also being recycled. So we have soil, we have steel, we have wood, we have concrete. Those things are being recycled. Now, in construction, we also have these hazardous materials. Hazardous materials includes fiberglass insulation, gypsum boards, anything with mercury content, such as light bulbs. So These are not being sold, but this has to be disposed of properly because it is hazardous. We can't use it in landfill because it's going to contaminate the environment. Now, we also, in construction, in Ayala Center, we also comply to LEED requirements. That's LEED. LEED is an international governing body. You can look up the definition of LEED. It refers to green building. When we say green building, such as Swili, the one in Makati Avenue, corner Paseo, it is only not, LEED doesn't only refer to the design of the building wherein it is environmentally compliant, but also to the construction methodology of the building, making sure that it is environmentally friendly or in compliance to LEED standards. Yes.
Okay, so are you happy with those methods, or do you want to add any improvement? Do you want to give anything more to that method, to those methods?
If there is other methodologies that is that can help improve the environment, we are more than willing to comply. But we also have to look at the economics of it. So meaning to say, it has to be, when you're in compliant to environmental standards, there's a return. So at the end of the day, it's also a business for us. But right now, what we are doing in construction is beyond the DENR requirement. But if there are other technologies available around the world and we find it feasible and workable here in the Philippines, why not? It's always an improving process.
So you're satisfied with what you have as a management for?
Yes, because we are internationally at par with other countries. Compared to construction 10 or 20 years ago, we've gone a long way. And the environmental consciousness in construction is they're giving more importance. Yep, that's it. What else?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.